What's up, everybody? That time of the day, that time of the week, that time of the month.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I have no idea.
You're listening to the good,
The band.
the ugly. We started off swearing because I'm Big Papa.
And I'm Jeff.
With the witty comebacks.
Yes.
You know what it is, Jeff? It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. We said this yesterday.
We say we're excited, but it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Are we excited about Tuesdays?
Nah.
Well, we are today, though.
Yeah.
Because we have a great interview for you today. Another drummer. We're not going to mention his name yet because I still got to figure out what's going on with you.
Oh.
What's going on with you? How was your day today? All good?
Long day.
Work was good?
Great.
Worked, yeah?
Great.
Yeah, I really don't care. We want to give a shout out to Uncle Louie from the Uncle Louie Variety Show. They have a show on the 29th of this month at the Paris Theater.
Palace, not
Theater. Paris. Paris was a strip joint, wasn't
it?
Palace Theater.
Well, I've never been to a strip joint, Mike. I have no idea.
Liar. There's so many comebacks there. I'm not going to say it. So they have a show coming out on the 29th, almost sold out. Still have about 60 to 80, 60 tickets left. Mm-hmm. But he's been on the show with his partner, and you definitely want to get on. You want to get a chance to go see
it.
The Uncle Louie Variety Show. Old family style sketches, but not family.
No,
just talking about old school stuff, being brought up old school.
Yep.
So do yourself a favor, go see that. We also want to mention before the show gets going, October 6th, Ben Morrow.
Ben Morrow will be in Syracuse.
At Sharky's.
Yes.
With a whole bunch of his compadres.
Yep.
Maybe a couple other guests.
Maybe.
Jumping up on stage. Not going to mention any names.
No.
See? For those only on Spotify, you didn't see that.
No, you didn't.
So get a camera. Or start watching the shit.
Yeah, start watching it.
Anyways.
And
hey,
don't forget, this Friday.
Oh, Femmes a Rock.
Femmes a Rock. Syracuse Event
Nina
Center.
Di Gregorio.
Yes.
And Jeff Tripoli.
Yes.
Yes. Going to be one of our favorite shows.
I think so.
Yes. Tickets are still available. You can buy VIP where you can get a meet and greet.
Yep.
Go to SyracuseTix.com, I believe it is.
SyracuseTix.com.
Yeah. We've got the login on our page. So you don't want to miss that.
Our page. That was good.
Our page?
Yeah, our page.
Our fucking page.
Our page.
F-bomb dropped twice already.
Twice.
Did we? I don't even think we swore yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Here it is again.
My sense of humor might hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's our newest sent to us by a guest of the show. So thank you so much for sending us that and whatever this is.
We're not sure. We thought it was cool, so we hang it up.
It's it's the world's smallest bull, apparently.
I know.
Well, thank you for sending it.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Much appreciated.
Anytime you want to send gifts, feel free. We'll send you our address. But let's move on. He's so excited to be on the show. I know it.
I can't understand why.
I don't. I don't either. Right now he's shaking. He's almost going to pee his pants.
Okay.
Jeff Tripoli, come on into the studio and make yourself seen.
Hello.
There he is. Look at him.
Hey guys.
Man, he did it right too. We said his name.
Yeah.
Clicked on,
came around. He's a lot better looking guy than the other guy that shares that studio with him.
Oof.
Not going to mention
You
Kevin
summoned
Dean's
me,
name.
so I appeared.
Really?
Oh. So he's under the desk?
Like a genie.
Ah.
Where is Jeannie? Jeannie's not here.
Hey, guys.
We sent her home.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. That's all the time we have. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for being here,
Anything
bud.
you need to plug?
Cool.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah,
Quick.
check out my website.
So, hey, thank you for coming on. Jeff is a local musician that has done some touring.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
Cut some albums. He gives some lessons on drumming.
On drumming, yeah.
Drum lessons. Yes, drum lessons. Do you use Rick Latham's book?
I have looked at it, but I have not used it.
Okay, well, when you get to the level of playing that stuff, you can teach it.
You'll be able to,
well, when I start to be able to read my own music, then I'll be able to do that.
That's right. There you go.
Read that.
We had Rick Latham on last week, so we want to give him a little plug again, knowing that
that was a great interview. I love that one.
What a down-to-earth and great guy. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And
you guys gave a shout-out to Hope as well.
Hope, yes.
Yes.
She deserves it because she's trying really hard, and I give her a lot of credit for all that she puts into her craft. You know,
Me too. She's great. She's getting a lot better. She's making a lot of strides right now.
Good.
She told me a story that she was playing along to a metronome, and while she was playing to it, it disappeared. And when that happens, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
When she found out about it, she was pretty excited about that. So she's making strides.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Let's give her another shout out. So, I will butcher her last name. Is it Pepitone?
Yes.
So I did say it right.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at me.
You got it.
Like I practiced.
I know, right?
There's hope for me yet. Oh, wait. No. See what I did there?
But don't.
Yeah. Try it again.
Nice.
You're a little off key on that one. So, we give big shout out to her, and we gave it a shout out. And I wanted him to, Rick to kind of say something in text, but he hasn't done that yet.
Right.
But he will. Because she deserves, like I said, she deserves a lot of credit. I know a lot of people throughout our lives in music that take for granted what they think they know and don't put any time into their craft, and they might have been playing 20 years and don't sit down and just keep banging away at it. You just have to.
Yeah.
You know, it's muscle memory. It's
Absolutely. I guess everybody's different. It depends on the way you're brought up as a musician. But for me, I started drumming when I was 10.
Yep.
And that was 1993. So I had the whole Nirvana thing was what got me started.
Right.
Really sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I just started to play along to CDs.
Youngster.
CDs.
I know.
We had CDs back in that day. And, just taught myself just by playing along to music.
Yeah.
And so I don't really read that much. I know how to read. I know how to teach it. But, yeah, the drum set is my happy place.
There you go.
How do you like
Absolutely.
that one? There's a sign
That's a
right
good
there.
one.
I actually bought that one.
Little did you know there'd be
Nice.
visual aids today.
I appreciate that. Sometimes I need them.
Okay.
I have another new sign too. What do you bring?
I know you do.
But yeah, you're right. You have to have some kind of a work ethic. You have to have.
Yeah.
Nobody can teach you a meter. You know.
Well, I think it's more about the feel of what you're doing. You can't really teach feel. You can provide an example.
Right.
You can see other drummers and the way that they have the feel, and you can sort of absorb that and make it your own. That's a lot of what I'm trying to teach. Like a lot of my students are of all ages, but we kind of just sit down and just take a look at how to groove.
Yeah.
And have fun mostly. But, groove and the steps that you can take to get there, and, lots of different things. A lot of drummers like the book Stick Control.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably familiar with that. You're a drummer.
Yeah.
So it's really simple for people to understand, and it's simple to teach, and it's very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem, I think a lot of people, when you say to feel the music, whether you're a guitar player or bass player, but
Right.
a guitar player typically follows the pocket that's set by the bass player and the drummer. Somebody has to have the initial pocket. The drummer's usually the one. So yes, you've got to play off of your counterparts in the band,
Right.
but you're setting that feel. So if you want it to be, blues, you could play the same blues progression on guitar, and if the drummer's doing something just a little different, it could change the whole meaning of that song. So
totally,
and I think it's great to start learning with a metronome, but you've got to teach you don't want to be that click track drummer.
Well,
that's
there's
my
a way
opinion.
to use the metronome that's not going to make you become a computer.
Right.
Practice with it. Practice with it until you internalize it.
Yeah.
And then you can walk away from it, and then you don't have to worry about whether you're speeding up or slowing down in a bad way. Because there's sometimes drummers that, when they start a song, for example, they've had 12 cups of coffee that day. So the way that they start it is going to be fast, but it's going to feel slow to them, or vice versa. If you just woke up and you got to play a fast song, you're going to be playing this song too slow.
Yeah.
So I've actually just recently started using a click live only to set myself up for the song, not in the middle of the performance. The click's not. I'm not watching or listening to a click while the song is being performed. It's just to give me 4 little clicks.
Yep.
To give me the right tempo, count the band in, then we're on the right page.
What's funny is there's some of the software that I use for my lyrics.
Yeah.
On the test, looking at the ground,
Mm-hmm.
I can have in the corner just the flash.
Actually, I remember that.
And it would just flash, just so I knew, well, this should come in at 120 or whatever.
Right.
So I saw it, and I knew if I'm listening to the drummer, and he's at this, and this the visual is a lot slower or faster. It's like, really, dude, So then I have to be the singer and turn around and be a dick. Be like,
yeah, but it's worse. It's worse when the guitar player starts it.
Yes,
and he's a little too fast
or slow.
That's usually the case.
Yes,
that's usually the case. Is they're too fast because they're excited to play.
Yeah, it's like,
but I started using a click. I started practicing more with a click. I teach over here at Kevin Dean's place at Rhythms and Melodies, and I hear Kevin in the room next door. He uses a click a lot, so I was like, maybe I should start doing that more often. So I started doing that because of Kevin.
But like you said, it sets it up. You don't need it for the whole song.
Right.
It just gets your mind into, oh yeah, this is where I'm at.
Yeah, whether you've had 12 cups of coffee or just woke up.
Right.
120 is 120.
Right, which is really common for those people who don't realize, I'll say this, I still to this day I do it. When you internally count at a given pace versus out loud, it's typically different. So even now, I'll close my eyes and I do it all the time. If I'm microwaving something and I know there's 15 seconds left, I close my eyes and I count it out. And if I get to 0 and the bell goes off, I'm like, okay, all right. I still got my tempo. Yeah. I still got tempo in my brain.
I can eat now.
All that practice with the metronome is paying off.
Yeah, see? And I have to eat at 120.
Oh, he's thinking
120,
I can eat
120 bites per second. Just
nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Per minute.
I do the same thing.
Per minute.
You also have that thing, like if you have the volume on the TV is like numbers.
Yes.
It'll say like 1, 2, 3, 4. I always put it on an even number.
Yes.
I'm always on it. I'm always on an odd number. I'm always on 13. I don't know why. Yes, I started at 13.
Wow.
The only odd number I select is a division of 5.
See,
15, 25, 35.
Yeah.
I think musicians are typically, we're like little mathematicians because numbers mean so much. Like when I go to the casino to play a slot machine, I look and I'm like, if I add those numbers up, are they divisible by 2? Yes, I can play this machine. That's how stupid I am because I lose all the time. Maybe I should start completely doing something opposite. Right. But I'm like looking at the number. I'm like, what the?
See, I'm like him. The TV has to be on an even number. And God forbid, if I pump gas, no sense. It's got to be right even.
No, it's got to be dead
0-0.
Yeah, 0. I'll spill it on the ground to get to 0-0. Yep, I can wipe it up, but I can't ruin my brain right now.
No.
Yeah, so like maybe we're all a little bit OCD because of music.
And I think
trying to organize things in music constantly maybe transfers into real life as well.
Have you ever counted the white lines when you're driving down the street?
I don't have time for that.
Dude, I'm telling you. I've got issues.
You
just
do.
like I have TMU issues.
Yeah.
Where I order a bunch of shit. Shut up. The newest gnome, the motorcycle gnome. Here you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then this is
just Jibu.
Jibu. Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Yep, the Good, Bad, and Ugly.
Cool.
Jibu.
Gnome.
I do count my steps when I go up and down stairs.
Oh, I do too. Most steps are 12. Starting with the first step.
I never noticed. I have to look into that.
Yeah. I used to, I used to count those steps. We're going so fucking off book. Because I knew when my old man got home and I was about to get my ass kicked for something, I used to, doom, 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 doom. I'm like, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 step to my door. Boom, the door comes flying open. I'm like, yep. At least still got it. Now I'm going to get my ass kicked for something. Yeah.
Time to mow the lawn.
12 steps. No, there was always a lot worse than...
If I'm
why
alone,
are you suspended now?
If I'm alone and doing stairs, I always skip one.
Why? So you can get nowhere faster?
Yes.
Go to see all your friends?
Yep.
I don't even want to know what you count when you're alone. A 1, a 2,
a 3. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. What? To the center of the Tootsie Pop. What'd you think we were talking about, Tripoli? Stop. Get your head out of the gutter, you weirdo.
Talking about,
man.
That's the owl, right?
The owl, yes.
Yep.
I'm surprised you remember that. How old are you? 25?
I'm 40.
Are you 40? No shit.
Yeah.
You don't look 40.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Would you have guessed 40?
No.
No. I'd have said millennial.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I'm right on the cusp.
You're a millennial
first
senior.
Year of the millennial.
You're
I almost always don't have my phone in my hand.
Nice. Okay.
So you actually make phone calls instead of text people?
Well, I do both. Yeah. You know, I keep up with the times.
He's on the cups. He's
More
on the
one
cups.
than
I
the
keep
other.
up with the times.
Yeah. I don't.
I guess I kind of have to.
I still don't know any of the slang.
No, he's got I can tell already. He's got a flip phone. It takes him 4 hours to say okay.
I used to.
444-777.
Yeah. All right. We're getting
anyway. Let's get back on track here, shall we?
So you're giving lessons over at the Kevin Dean School of Music.
Rhythms and Melodies in East Syracuse.
Rhythms and Melodies in East Syracuse on the second floor.
Yep. Above Black Sea Tattoo.
Yep. And,
right across the street from the firehouse.
Yes.
There you go.
I live right around the corner from the firehouse.
Okay.
So
I grew up in Fremont, not too far down here between East Syracuse and Green Lakes.
And what's your mailing address now?
And your social security number?
1234 Pleasant Street.
That's a weird social security number.
Damn it.
OU 812 Pleasant Street. Yes. So you want to talk about you're in some local bands now. What local bands
I was
are you
doing
in?
Well, mostly I wasn't playing too much with local bands before. I was just recently joining a new band. So between the last year, I was playing with a lot of local bands.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I'm still co-hosting the open mic at Shifty's with Steve Winston from Los Blancos and Joel Kane from Mark Doyle and the Maniacs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. What's that on? Wednesday nights? Tuesday nights?
Wednesday nights.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also I've played with Dracula Jones.
Oh, cool.
And Pale Green Stars.
Gotta love Mr. Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But just recently I actually joined a new band from Jamestown, New York, which is way off in western New York over by Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And what would they be called?
The Probables.
I was waiting for you to,
I know.
as you're telling the story, just
blurt it out.
Blurt it out.
Yeah.
We can't read minds here.
So what style of music is that?
That is what they say is Americana, Folkana, like folk music, but rocking. And, we have acoustic guitar. We have a multi-instrumentalist. The guys in the band are Steve Johnson, and he's the singer. He writes the songs. He plays acoustic guitar. He used to be in a band called Big Leg Emma back in the day. We also have Matt Gronquist, who's like a multi-instrumentalist. He plays electric guitar, fiddle, keyboards. I think he's also doing lap steel guitar.
Nice.
And we also have Adam McKillop, who's the mandolin player, and he also plays a little acoustic guitar and sings lead sometimes and sings a lot of backup. He's written a few of his own songs for the band as well.
Mm-hmm.
And right at the same time that I came into the band, which was about a month ago, we were joined by Jason Wilbur on bass guitar, and he's from Erie, Pennsylvania. So they're all based out in Western New York, and we've just played our 4th show. So it's really new for me, but they've been around for a while. And back in the day, I used to fill in gigs with the Probables, when they needed a drummer here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I had met them many, many years ago when they were called Big Leg Emma. I played a lot at this festival called the Great Blue Heron Festival. And some of the other bands I played in the day were playing at this festival. So we all rub shoulders and get to know each other. So I've actually known the Probables for over 12 years now.
That's cool.
Personally.
But now now you're an actual member, though.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
the Probable... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You finish your sentence. You're more important. We know about us.
Yeah, we do.
No. No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, who are some of the bands? Now, I know you've done some touring, and you mentioned some festivals. Anybody we would know? As far as we're old, so be easy on us.
Well, would say you guys probably would have heard of the Town Pants if you're into Irish festivals, Celtic music.
Yeah.
Yes.
But most of the bands I've played in were really original, pretty underground.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And probably you would have known bands that I would have been playing with around here. I've done fill-in gigs with Los Blancos and Pale Green Stars, Dracula Jones, of course.
Yeah.
And but the Town Pants were sort of my bread and butter for the last 8 years until they retired last year. I played with them all over the States, Canada, Ireland, and got to record our new album out in Vancouver, British Columbia. I did about 3 weeks touring in Hawaii. So it was a really, really intense and really awesome experience.
We hate
and
you
just
now.
like with the
I can't talk to you now.
Nope, we hate him.
Done.
He's been to Ireland and Hawaii.
Yeah.
No, we don't care.
I don't care.
Anything he says from this is pale in comparison from this point
Forget
on.
it.
Jeff,
I mean, touring with the Town Pants back in the day was, the beginning of becoming who I really am as a drummer. For a lot of years before that, I was playing with a lot of different bands that were doing some really cool shows, but nothing like touring. And that was just a whole experience itself, an educational experience at that.
I think we when we interviewed Max McGee, I'm sorry, McKee. Jesus, I do it all the time, and I've known him forever. So did you watch the interview that we had with Max?
I did,
and he talked about how it's like, when you first hear about going on the road and touring, you're like, yeah, cool. And then after your 57th Waffle House / La Quinta,
and
you're like, oh, this sucks.
That
another Dead Roof Inn.
Yeah.
That and the pay by the hour hotels.
Yeah. I'm staying in Hawaii, but I'm staying at a pig barn. What the hell is this shit?
No, it was far from a pig barn.
That's cool. So would you say that the pants band there is you guys were like a brother?
Pants.
Yeah, I know.
Town Pants.
You guys were like a brotherhood though. After being on the road. So would you say that it was the brotherhood of the traveling pants band, or
it could have been?
See what I did there?
I see.
Sisterhood of the traveling pants for the women that are listening.
Right.
See, I was setting this up. That's why I said the pants band.
Oh, good.
It's this brotherhood of the traveling pants. Never mind.
He's good at what he does. Yeah.
I get it.
There you go.
I think like touring, the experience can be whatever the band is that you're touring with provides. Some bands that you tour with might consider the band vehicle to be just a minivan that's really busted up.
Right.
And then other bands are a little bit more, they've been doing it a little bit longer, so they know that you got to have a reliable vehicle and all that stuff.
Right.
But, touring can be really grueling if you're just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
I went through all the steps of, starting out as a band, trying to book shows and just, playing for empty houses, playing and getting ripped off, playing and like, being the biggest thing in this really small town that nobody's ever heard of you. And you're just like coming into this town and taking it over basically at the local bar.
Right.
It's a pretty fun experience too.
Jesus, it's Anvil.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
See?
It's very Spinal Tap.
Right. Opening up for the puppet show at the
at the local
amusement
theater.
park. Yes. Because our aunts go to 11. It's funny.
Stepped on Stonehenge. Anyway.
When you so I wish somebody would talk to us about how do you manage your life at home, knowing you're going on the road for as long as you are.
If you have family at home, that's the thing.
That's the question. A little bit about my personal life. I have 2 daughters, Ava and Maddie, and they're both really awesome.
And how old are they?
11 and 7.
So they're old enough to know if you're not around.
And
I don't mean that as a smart ass. I mean,
no, right.
When they're 3, you're like, yeah.
Dad went to work.
Yeah. They can cry themselves to sleep.
Weeks.
They'll forget it next year.
Yeah. I've been doing this my whole life, so they're kind of like, that's just what Dad does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they musicians too? Or becoming?
Well, actually, they always come over when I have them. They come over and we jam drums over here at Rhythms and Melodies all the time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, my kids can hold down a backbeat together.
Nice.
Without a metronome.
And also, Ava's taking violin classes in school.
Okay.
With her teacher's Chris Norder Thomas.
Oh, okay.
And,
yeah.
Yeah. So he's a really close friend of mine too. It's really nice to see those guys still around.
Cool. Are they now your oldest daughter is taking the violin now?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
You should bring her to see the Femmes this weekend at Sharky's.
Right. Yeah.
Sharky's.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, she would probably get a kick out of the fact that you've got 4, sometimes more, depending on how many they bring, like incredible violinists and stringed instruments up there playing some really cool Led Zeppelin, Metallica,
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I looked that up. That's with Jeff Tripoli, correct?
Yes. He's really getting the drums down. I think
he'll get it.
He's starting to get it.
Yeah.
He's starting to get it. Yeah, I think so.
I'm honestly waiting for him to walk through that door.
The Red Man Group. Yeah, that's the mediocre ones.
Yeah,
till they become blue. Yeah, the thing is, people are going to think there's like the biggest bromance because we do mention Jeff on almost every show. But you know what? He's been very cool. He's been very good to us.
Absolutely.
He's introduced us to a lot of people.
I saw his interview too.
Yeah.
I did some recording with Jeff. He was on my last record that my last drum record.
Oh, cool.
Did he charge you a lot?
Yeah. No. I told him I'd pay him, and I did pay him, and it was worth every penny.
Did you really?
It was worth
good
every
for
penny.
him. Yeah. I was just kind of being ball busting, but
right.
Do you have your CD right there at your fingertips that you were about to hold up and show us?
No, I think it's in Kevin's room.
The hell's it doing there?
Well, you know what? You've got to make sure to send us the link.
Yeah.
So that when we do publish this show, we will put it up, put the link up so people can go and download it or buy it or whatever.
Well, I've got my phone right here, and I have you on Facebook Messenger, so I could probably just send it to you right now.
There you go.
All right.
As we talk, yeah. But yeah, if anybody out there is just finding out who I am, I have a lot of bands that I play with now. I'm primarily with the Probables, but on the other side of the story, I'm doing a lot of my own solo avant-garde, progressive, sort of psychedelic percussion records. Okay. And it's been going really well so far. I've met a lot of really cool drummers for my last one that's about to come out. It's got 10 different tracks and 10 different drummers. So each track is myself with another drummer as a duo, and each track has its own guest. Some of those guests so far are my mentor, Butch Norton, is going to be on one. Cool. I've got from World Drum Club, I have Kalani Das. I have Rich Manjacaro, who's also from Syracuse.
Yep.
And I've also got some special guests that are also proteges of my mentor, Butch Norton. I've got some people that are going to be involved in other musical aspects as well. I have Jeff Molesky's going to mix the record.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, he's the guy. He mixed my last record. Jeff did a great job. He's over at Moltrack Studio. He's got these Unfairchild compressors that make the drums just pop.
That's awesome.
And he's a great mixer. So I'm going to have him do the rest.
Jeff has done a lot of local musicians around, and I mean, he's done a lot for music in general in the area, but he's made a name for himself. Yeah, that's for sure. So we have to give him a shout out.
So tell us a little bit about, like, you know how, like, guitar players, they put out an album, it's all instrumental. Is it the same way with drums for those who don't know?
A lot of drummers that have put out solo records, the first thing I was trying to do when I released my first one was look up other drummers that were releasing just drum records.
Okay.
So you get a lot of hits on, like, Tony Williams, jazz drummer guy, and Art Blakey, or a Buddy Rich record.
Okay.
Which would, most likely would be with an orchestra or with a jazz band behind them. And, that's not what I was doing. What I was doing was purely percussion. It actually started off from the pandemic when I went off tour. I had nothing to do, so I was like, I'm just going to start making my own record. So some friends of mine from Vancouver actually hired me to do their theme song. It was called Two Guys. what was the name of the podcast? I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the name of their podcast. But
better
they
not
hired
forget
me to
this
do
one.
their theme song. So they had hired me to do their theme song, and it was all percussion. So that kind of started how I, began doing my own records.
Cool.
And after a while, it just became something that was like a way for me to experiment and see if I could actually do it.
Okay.
And what it turned into was my next one's going to be featuring everything in percussion world, but about 10-15% drum set. The rest of it is on a contraption kit. I was inspired by Butch Norton to do this contraption kit that involves a lot of different things like paint cans and different kinds of broken cymbals and a bike hanger for your wall in your garage. And also like inventing my own instruments. And I've also, my father just got his kitchen remodeled, so I literally have the kitchen sink on my contraption kit.
Very cool.
So almost like Stomp meets Blue Man Group.
Yeah, in a way. In a way, it's pretty much, like Stomp, but it's a little bit more, I think, avant-garde in a way.
Okay.
Another inspiration on me was the drummer from Wilco, Glenn Kochi. He does a lot of stuff like that, putting springs on top of his snare drum head, pulling on them, and, using contact microphones on framed pieces of metal that sound pretty normal and mundane. But when you put a contact mic on it and some distortion, it turns into a giant explosion of whatever the sound is. You can kind of experiment. The world has become my instrument.
And I don't think you've mentioned Butch Norton a bunch of times. Now Butch, primarily lately, I think he writes mainly for movies and stuff. Does the music for movies a lot, doesn't he?
No, that's not right. Butch Norton is the drummer with Lucinda Williams, and he also used to be in a band back in the '90s called the Eels.
You're right. So the Eels wrote songs, like they wrote the songs for, like the Shrek movies. Believe it or not, they were Did
they?
Yeah. The Eels were one of the first bands to be signed by DreamWorks back in '95.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
So they were signed to write a lot of this music that was on these DreamWorks shows. So there you go. I didn't know that. I'm telling you a little bit about your mentor.
Awesome. I got to learn something new every day.
Well, it took me 6 seconds on the, you know what? And he also worked on the soundtrack for The Big Lebowski. So there you go. That's one of my favorite movies.
I believe he also did the 300 movie.
Yes.
The Gladiator kind of themed.
Okay.
There.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
He did the Dukes of Hazzard. He did.
Butch has been all over. Butch is the man. He's, when I finished my first drum record, I was just reaching out to different drummers, like I was telling Jeff, looking for other drummers that had released their own music. And he came up in the, I think it was Drummer World Forum or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent him an email. And next thing I know, I'm getting a call on the phone from California, and it's Butch. And that was like the beginning of a 2.5-year mentorship so far.
Right.
And it's been really fulfilling. I'm going to be seeing him again at the end of October. Lucinda Williams is playing at the Egg in Albany.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
He's been with her for 17 years?
Something like that. I believe he came in on the Little Honey record.
2007.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of great stories from recording.
See,
and
you make fun of the tablet, but it comes in handy.
Oh, see, this is stuff that
they don't
I
see.
looked it up on my flip phone.
Tablet. I got the tablet right here.
I thought this was something maybe you read somewhere before.
I had heard of Butch Norton before, but then while you were talking, I looked him up.
Oh, okay.
That's what you think I was going to know the years of shit. I can't even remember what I had for lunch.
I guess that's my department then.
He's the color guy. He's the in the radio. And for people who don't know, the person they call the color guy is the guy that knows all the statistics, like in baseball.
Yep.
He's calling out the statistics and the names, and I'm here for the humor and the good looks.
Eye candy. That's
all
what
right.
he thinks he is.
I'm eye candy. Bad for your
cool.
teeth. Mm-hmm. So you've
fruit roll up.
Yeah.
fruit roll-ups. I haven't had those in years. Oh my God.
There you go. So
I'm old.
We're taking this one all over the board.
We are too.
So you've been on you've done some touring. You're doing stuff with your own albums. Do you think you're going to tour around? Like, is that something that you would bring to a workshop, or would you go into someplace like what we know as like Funk and Waffles or some small kind of, snap your finger jazz houses?
I've really been holding off on doing that, but there was definitely something that I want to do live with the drum thing, just drums. So I've put up on Facebook seeking strange and weird drummers and percussionists to join an ensemble. And some really good people came up, and you never know what's going to happen with that.
No, you
I'd
don't.
love to do something, ideally, at Thornton Park at the amphitheater there on a really nice day sometime.
Okay.
A drum festival or something like that.
Okay.
I'd love to do something like that, and I think I'd be able to talk to some of my friends in production for either advice or actually hire them to see if something like that could happen, because I haven't been part of a festival production since like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a lot of responsibility.
Well, I think people would be, if you're going to be banging on kitchen sinks and bike racks, people,
right?
You could really make and I say that it's not really tongue in cheek, but
no.
People will come into this saying, "What is all that?
Right,
what's all that garbage on the stage?" And next thing you know, you're making music out of it,
and you're like, "That was really cool."
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah,
they walk away with something new.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's the whole idea. This is something that I don't think anybody in Syracuse has really done. Just like a really weird, avant-garde, strange drum thing, and I've got my buddy Sam Fishman, who's the drummer with Driftwood. He's going to be on my next record too, and we did something at Electric Wilburland Studio in Ithaca last winter. So I'd love to have him involved as having two drummers up there, just improvising the whole night, and have some other guests come up. I'd love to have Kevin Dean come up. I'd love to
just go next door and knock on the door.
Yeah,
right. give him a shout. Hey, you want to be on my album?
Yeah, because there's tons of great drummers in Syracuse.
Yes.
So
you should preface it. You should preface it with creative, because instead of weird, we could have probably given you a whole bunch of people that used to be in our band.
Really weird.
Yeah, they would definitely hit the
wicked
the weird
fit.
button. Yeah,
just as long as they show up on time.
Well, there goes that. Adam.
Well, forget it.
I'm telling you, I think you got something there. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Stomp earlier because I think for the first time I had seen that show, you don't see anybody walk out of there that doesn't have something in their hand that they think they're making noise with, or get in their car and find an old plastic Wegmans bag and start, whoever's driving the group that just really sat through that is like, all right, cut the shit.
Right.
I just listened to 2 hours of people making music out of matchbooks and sinks. If you tap on the back of my chair one more time, I'm going to kill you.
Right.
So yeah,
you definitely don't want to sit next to me on the airplane.
Right. It's like, hey, if I slam this into the thing,
right? Maybe this guy will stop.
But yeah, I'm telling you, I think that would be kind of cool. I think people would walk away from it with a whole new perspective on what you're trying to do. And
I hope so.
It took the guys
Stomp a while.
Took them a long time.
Look at Blue Man Group. Kind of the same way.
Blue Man Group, I think, was kind of an oddity that took off pretty quick.
Right.
Once it hit
mutated.
Once it hit the public eye.
Stuff.
And they got, again, they were so strange because none of them would speak. They painted themselves blue.
It's like Penn and
like
Teller,
latex. But... Yeah, and then they next thing you know, they're on Letterman.
Yeah.
And they're getting the publicity they are, and that's when they, like, within months, they're starting the show in Vegas, and that's when Jeff got his call.
Yeah.
To be one of the first members of the crew.
Yeah.
So, who's to say that a guy out of Syracuse can't do what a bunch of guys out of Brooklyn's
absolutely
Brooklyn or
why not?
I encourage all musicians to think that way. Do something different. Like, a lot of people, I think today, young musicians coming up have kind of their idea of what they want to do. And I think a lot of people forget to, throw the box away.
Yes.
Play outside the box and do something different. Do something that really is truly you.
Right.
And, the way that I embraced that was an inspiration I had from a composer named Harry Parch. And he invented his own instruments and made orchestrationals out of that. And it was really inspiring. So, I got a big piece of wood and I got some wasabi peas cans as resonators, and I stretched wires over them with my dad's old guitar tuning knobs and started playing it like a hammered dulcimer using a slide piece from an old cymbal stand, and just having fun, just being completely improvised and having fun. That's all it really is.
That's pretty cool. Did you ever see the movie August Rush?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, do yourself a favor and watch it.
And don't bother.
Okay.
Watch it. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to give anything away other than the fact that it's about a young kid who hears music in a different way. And he hears the sounds of the streets and the noises that a shopping cart with a bad wheel is making, or somebody going by on a bike that something's clicking, and he hears these things in his mind. But he's also a musical genius. And I don't want to give it away, but for any musician, especially somebody like yourself who's thinking outside the box, how he got there, he composes these pieces based around the music that's happening around him, or the sounds that are happening around him.
Absolutely.
And it tells the story if you watch the movie, and then at the end, I used to tell my daughter when she first started playing the flute.
Okay.
Peter and the Wolf.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That whole music, that orchestrated piece there. Yeah. I said, listen to this. You don't need words. Just listen to the music and tell me what you think is happening now. So being able to listen to the story, and she'd be saying like, somebody sounds scary, so somebody's scared. I'm like, and this is her interpreting it at like 5 and 6 years old. So I think watching somebody put together a story based on the sounds heard around them and then transposing them into a full orchestrated piece.
Totally. It's funny that you mentioned that, because Rhythms and Melodies is right across the street from the firehouse.
Mm-hmm.
So during recording, the sirens went off. And I was like, oh, not again. But I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to capture this on record. And used it.
Yep.
Hey, Kevin, come over here. Kevin's here.
Oh, really?
Oh, is he?
He's loading gear out, but come say hello, Kevin.
Which one of the 27 bands is he playing in tonight?
Hi.
What's up, Kevin?
We see your belly button there. See,
I crashed his episode, so now it's time for him to crash mine.
I have a hat on that was inspired by Kevin Dean.
I can tell.
It's a brimless hat.
Don't take it off.
I'm not taking it off.
He says he's got a brimless hat that was inspired by Kevin Dean. All right, he says.
He wears some cool hats. I'm telling you, when I put this on, I said, if Kevin can pull off some of that.
Some cool hats.
What 40 bands is he playing in tonight?
Hey, which 40 bands are you playing in tonight? None tonight.
Oh, none tonight. Okay.
Oh.
But he'll be with Fritz's polka band on Friday.
He's just selling. Right. He's selling his drums.
And Jeff Selden on Saturday. Yeah.
Nice. Hopefully we'll see him.
He doesn't know all of them.
Hopefully we'll see him Friday night at the Femmes of Rock.
No,
seeing
he's
his friends.
Fritz and the polka band or whatever.
Oh, he was being serious.
Yes.
Oh. You may know me. I'm from that band Polka Polka Polka. No? Who said that?
No.
Who said that?
I don't know.
John Candy.
Good for him.
You don't know us from no?
No.
Home Alone?
Was that Home Alone?
Home Alone.
No.
Yeah. You might have heard of us. Did that thing, Polka Polka Polka? No? Polka Polka Polka. No?
Yeah. No. Kevin's mom has to ride with the polka band in the back of the U-Haul trailer.
That's right.
To get back to Chicago.
That's right. Kevin. Not Kevin Dean's mom.
Oh, I was going to say, what?
Kevin
McAllister.
Yeah. Oh.
Kevin. Yeah.
Whatever. Never
told
was
you
a fan.
this episode. It's Tuesday. We're punch drunk by now.
We are too.
We spent an hour with Vinny the drummer yesterday.
I've been up since 4:00. Let's go.
I don't care.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Shut up. Do it. Come on.
I love that you guys keep having drummers on here. This is a cool program.
Well, who do you think books the
No.
gigs? Yeah, me.
The drummer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Although, who did we just put in the books today?
Mr.
Go ahead.
Joel Hoekstra.
Okay. Nice.
He's like, who's that?
Do you know who Joel Hoekstra is? Be
I've heard
honest.
the name, but I'm not familiar.
Okay, so Joel plays.
Oh my God.
He tours with Whitesnake now.
Yep.
Right.
He's
He
also
played with Night Ranger.
and now he's also with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yep,
So that's
TSO.
kind of
Cool.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been with TSO for quite a while.
Yeah, well, he does that seasonal because that's when they
Yes.
tour. So he's around the winter,
Around the winter times.
November, December, January. He's doing TSO.
Yep.
And
It's a
then
nice
he's-
way to fill in the winter. Holy.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
that's
he's
cool.
doing Whitesnake for the rest of the time. So
Well, right now they're trying to work out some issues.
well, yeah. What's his name? Can't really even walk. I guess he's
David Coverdale.
Yeah, he's pretty banged up.
Yeah.
So, but-
All of our heroes are getting up there.
yeah,
That's the
no
sad
kidding.
part, is
It
it
is
not?
sad.
Yeah. I think who just turned 80? I think it was
Jeff.
Mike did.
I'm not. Oh,
My,
but
my-
Roger Waters is like 79.
I know,
78,
right?
I know
You
it.
know? The Rolling Stones are about to put out a new record too. How
Yeah,
about
please
that?
don't.
Yeah, what's it called? I Met the First Tree.
Yeah, their tours.
I remember when this rock was sand. That's the name of the.
Yeah, their
It used to be
tours.
called
That's a good one.
Stand and
I like
Roll.
that.
Stand and roll.
Stand and Roll, because when we started, it wasn't a rock yet.
No. And I think their sponsors, the sponsor for the tour is Hover Round or something.
No, the sponsor is
No.
the Great Auk Medical Supply.
The sponsor is Depends.
Ovaltine.
Yes.
Ovaltine.
Boost or Insure. Yes. Start me up. I'll never stop. Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
So I'm going to
Start
ask.
me up, you gotta keep
we're
it
going
going.
to ask Jeff the
Yeah.
quandary that we have.
Yes.
Not the
right.
usual.
Oh.
These bands are getting up there. Mm-hmm. More and more of the members are retiring or retiring.
Right.
Retiring upstairs.
Now they bring in all these new people. Is it at that point still Foreigner, Journey, REO,
Right.
or
That's a good
are they
question.
now a tribute
tribute
band,
band.
or are they just a bunch of guys playing for the Foreigner franchise, or the? You know
That's
what
a
I mean?
good question, and I have a pretty good example of.
Oh, good.
Let's use Skid Row for example.
Let's.
Yes.
So when I was younger, I saw Skid Row without the lead singer Sebastian Bach, but the original band at the bar that used to be over on Bridge Street in East Syracuse,
Yes.
Liquids. I saw Skid Row without Sebastian Bach, and then I think
You saw them
recently,
with
just
Johnny
at the
Solinger.
state fair, I can't remember his name, but it was another guy. He was really good.
Johnny
But it was
Salinger was the guy who took over after Sebastian Bach, and the only reason I know that is because they were on tour when Kiss did their 99th farewell tour, and they had Skid Row, Ted Nugent, and Kiss.
Yeah, but
Right.
Salinger's not who's in there now.
No, Salinger
the new guy.
has passed. Rest in peace.
Right.
Right.
The new guy,
That
Eric,
he just saw at the fair.
Eric. Oh,
Yep.
I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm
Sing
not
a
even gonna
song.
try.
Eric Sing a Song. That's his last name. Sing a Song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then on the other side of the coin, you got Sebastian Bach solo.
Right.
So who's really doing it? But my favorite example would be the famous Roger Waters, David Gilmour split with Pink
Yeah.
Floyd.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the story was, Roger Waters was the primary songwriter. No discredit to any of the other members of Pink Floyd. I love
Right.
Pink Floyd.
Correct.
They're my number one favorite band.
Okay.
But then, when Roger Waters split and Pink Floyd was still playing, there'd be 3,000 people at a Roger Waters show and 30,000 people at a Pink Floyd show.
Right.
So it's an awkward thing to think about, but
Mm-hmm.
these things happen, Being in a band is like being in a marriage. You don't always get along. Sometimes you get a divorce.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
But who raises
But,
the kids?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a really good question. I have to say there's not too much I don't like from Pink Floyd. But, like some of the stuff on Momentary Lapse of Reason's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But also, rightfully, there's some stuff on Radio Chaos that is not my favorite. So the obvious answer to the equation is they work better together.
Yes.
But, these things happen. That's just
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Well, when
Yeah.
Extreme was together
Mm-hmm.
with the original lineup,
Yes.
I don't think you could have beat the harmonies, the lead vocals, everything just fell into the right pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they kind of changed it up a bit, it didn't go as well.
The only thing they changed was their drummer.
Yeah, but the singer didn't. He left.
No, he's
He's back, but he left for a short period.
yeah.
Yeah. Or our
Yeah.
favorite analogy of Motley Crue.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Right. That's another good one.
when Vince Neil left,
John Corabi came
John
in.
Corabi came
and
in,
they re-released that 1994 album.
which I think was the best
Yeah.
Motley Crue album out, personally.
Well,
I
it
shouldn't
all
say
depends on. A lot of my favorite records are my favorites because of where I was and where I was in my life and
Yes.
where I was in my environment when I heard it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Radiohead's another one of my bands that are one of my favorites. And I always remember the day I first heard OK Computer, and the day that I first heard Kid A.
Uh-huh.
And other things like when you listen to something, it brings you back to that place that you first heard.
I
it.
was just going to say
Amen.
the great thing about music is you can hear a song, and all of a sudden it takes you back to that time you were at
Right.
in that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing
Yeah.
about it.
That is the greatest thing about music.
Music is what, Mike?
Music is medicine.
There you go.
That was given
it
to us
is.
by Lou Kaplan.
Yes, Luke Kaplan.
Local hero Lou Kaplan.
Yes.
Music is medicine. And it is.
It is.
But you know what really turns your head, though, is when you have a song
Mm-hmm.
by an artist that the song itself is so timeless that you don't know when it was written because it broke all the rules. And I think the best example of that, and I've mentioned it on the show before, of the local band, and I'll put them up against any national band,
Okay.
was the Masters of Reality. I think Chris
Oh, dude,
Goss.
now you're talking.
Chris
Yeah.
Goss had the musical wherewithal to say,
Yeah.
this shit's going to work, and it's going to work for years. And you put on
Yeah.
John Brown right now, and you're going to find people that dig it just as much as we dug it back in 1984,
Yeah.
85.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's
Masters of Reality were
they,
that's some good stuff.
they
man.
still are. They still get downloads. Joe Altier was saying that he ran into somebody on tour, and
Yeah.
they were from like Alaska.
Yes.
The band was from Alaska, and he was jamming out to the Masters in his hotel room, and Joe stopped walking by and said, dude, what are you playing? And he's like, the Masters of Reality, they're freaking awesome. He's like, I'm from Syracuse. He goes, next thing
Yeah.
you know,
I
they're
know
having
them.
like a 3-hour
Yeah.
shoot the shit, bromance going on
Yeah.
over the Masters,
The same thing happened to me when I was in Vancouver talking to somebody about Earth Crisis.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vancouver in 4 weeks. 4 weeks I'll be in Vancouver.
Are you really?
Yes. Never been there.
Okay.
I,
Oh, it's really nice. It's really cool.
I'll be there in November.
I would suggest going to
I'm writing this down.
well, you got to
better.
take the sea bus. If you're in North Vancouver and you take the sea bus across the bay, there's some really nice shops out there. I think also the Orpheum Theater's out there.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Stanley Park is a beautiful park, but if you're going to be there in 4 weeks, well, actually, now that I think about the weather in Vancouver, it's milder than it is here in Syracuse. So
Really?
it might be a nice fall trip for you to go to Stanley Park or something like that.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, they kept mentioning
Yeah.
about the Bay. They were
Yeah.
talking about the Bay. We've got some business to do out there, and then we've got about almost a day to do whatever they want to show us. So, yeah,
Cool. Yeah, you'll have a lot of fun.
that's cool.
There's a lot of dispensaries out there too.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that-
I don't do that shit. So, yeah,
All right. Hey, different strokes.
Yeah.
that's right. Next thing I know, I'll be smoking a bunch of dope, beating on a sink, and
Oh.
make my own albums.
That's right.
No pun intended.
See, it
No.
works.
Right.
Just kidding. Just
But,
kidding.
yeah, but I'm spending a week in just outside of Portland
Mhm.
before that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll be a nice trip. Cool.
Yeah,
Good for
talk
you,
about
man.
another dispensary town.
Yeah.
So let's
I
get
spent
down.
about,
Let's get down and dirty here,
Yeah.
Go
shall
ahead.
we?
Yeah,
Why
We
not?
shall.
go ahead, Jeff.
So we asked this question of everybody we have.
You
on.
knew this was coming. I told you
And
about this
yeah.
earlier.
Okay.
So, and believe me, I hate the word fanboy. I really do. However, have you had a fanboy moment?
Oh, let me see.
And you cannot say Butch Norton.
Right.
No. I did.
Okay.
Back when I lived in Ithaca, I was playing with a Zydeco band, and we were on our way out of town to a gig. So we're all in the car with a trailer at a stoplight, and my guitar player's driving. He looks over and he goes, Hey, Lindsay, hold on, Lindsay. And we pull over in the middle of like downtown traffic, of course, where it's busy.
On 13.
Rush hour. Yep, pretty much. And we get out of the van. I'm like, he's got to go talk to some girlfriend, Lindsay.
Right.
And we're late for the gig. What's going on? And I look over, and it's Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac.
No shit.
Walking down the street by himself.
Oh,
wow.
Do you need a ride,
Yeah.
sir?
The girlfriend.
Yeah. Do you need a ride,
See
sir?
some,
My name's Stevie.
Right?
my middle name is Nick.
Yeah. My name's Stevie. Watch him run.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's,
He was a really cool guy. He stopped and talked to us. He was hanging out for a little bit. He's in town the day before for a gig at the State Theater or something like that.
That's
Hung out.
cool.
and did your guitar player know him, or just he fanboy gigged out?
No, he fanboyed out too. He recognized him from the sidewalk in the van.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So that's a good
That's a
fanboy
good
moment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How about somebody you've met because of while you're playing, not because you're driving down the random street?
Right.
Somebody that I met was Patti Smith.
Okay. There you
Yeah.
go.
Petty
I used
Smith
to
or
play
Petty
with
Petty Smith or Petty
Patti
Smythe?
Smith, as in Horse's album, as in
Oh, yeah.
Because the Night.
Yep.
Used to do the CBGB thing.
Yep. Absolutely.
She's poetic and
Yep.
kind of the punk rock
Yes.
queen of punk rock, as I call her.
No, it's Patti Smythe. Which Patti Smythe was kind of the same, sort of.
Wasn't Petty Smythe Quarter Flash?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But no, but
Yeah,
she was
no,
still
this
there.
is,
on C mirror.
But anyway.
This was Patti Smith, the punk rock
Yes.
legend. Patti
Yep.
Smith.
Yeah, and if you played with Dracula Jones, you know about all those CBGB,
Yeah, you do.
Sure.
CBGB
Yeah.
types. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she
Well, like I said, I came from Nirvana, and I was really into all that alternative stuff.
really
Radiohead,
sorry.
Nirvana, REM live,
Right?
I like REM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
REM's great.
I was
You know,
never
it's funny.
a fan
I just
of Nirvana.
had some comment chain on YouTube of you remember the band Live?
Yes.
Their drummer's got his own YouTube channel. He started like doing drum cams of himself playing along to live records. So I started having a little comment chain with him.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
and I fanboyed not too much, but I was like, when I was coming up as a drummer in my bedroom at my parents' house, I played so many live songs on drums to teach myself, and made a little blurb about it on his comment chain and his YouTube channel. And he got back to me. I was like, oh my god,
That's how we
cool.
felt when you said you would do our show.
Yeah.
We were like,
oh, you guys.
We said, hey, man.
I thought I asked you guys.
So how
if I
many-
could do the show?
you did. I'm just
did.
trying to pump you up a little bit.
So how much of
I
throwing
keep my head on so my head doesn't get big.
So
Do
how much of throwing copper do you really know?
The whole thing,
That's what I figured.
except Lightning Crashes, because I always skip that song.
Too hard?
It's not my
boring.
favorite song.
Thought maybe Kevin
It's a
would.
cool song. There's some cool
Kevin
drumming
could teach
technique, but- Kevin could teach anything.
Kevin's a
Kevin's
great
amazing.
drummer.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get him to be on your record?
I'm trying. I keep asking him.
You think
He's
think
going to
that's
get
tough?
on there
Try to
whether
get
he
him to be
likes
on
it
a
or not.
podcast.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy, and rightfully so. He's been playing with tons of bands forever. He's
Yep.
great.
How many listeners do you have?
I know, right?
Well,
Never mind.
never mind. I'm not
Never
going down there.
mind.
I got myself in trouble for throwing somebody under the bus.
Yeah, you did.
And if you're an
Oh,
avid
just
listener to
going
the
to-
show, you know
Exactly
that
what
I
he's talking about.
articulated my dismay of one artist's
From the 80s.
antics. I'm not going to say his name, and I'm really not going to say his name this time.
No.
But yeah, so you can't please everybody all the time. Let's put it that way. But I hope you get him on your
Yeah,
show
absolutely.
and or on your
Thank
album.
you.
Yep.
And I'll tell you,
Yeah,
we
me
are
too.
trying to get Rick Latham to come up and do a clinic.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
mentioned maybe you guys finding a way to host the
That would be
clinic
cool.
from your music studio there, your lessons and everything, and get your students
Yeah.
around.
I'll mention that to Kevin and see what he can kind of like. brainstorm a little bit and see what we can do, because I've had similar ideas, and it's a lot to take on, especially when you've got a legend like Rick Latham. You got to treat him right, you know, and you got to make sure people know about it. So
yes.
I'd love to be a part of it. Yeah.
He said if you paid him in a steak, it's okay.
Paid him and a steak, or paid him with a steak?
No, he said paid with your estate.
Oh, my bad.
But he did say he would, if you did bring him up, he would stick around for a couple days if you had to, and give some private lessons as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'd also love to get David Northrup.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with David Northrup?
I am not.
He's a guy that's played down in Nashville for years with a lot of great artists, but he's from Chittenango.
He's a drummer?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah. You can look him up. I think he's on my Facebook friends, or he's definitely on Facebook. He's a great drummer. He's been reaching out too. I'm going to take a lesson with him when he comes in town.
There you go. I think we should get him on the show with
That'd
you.
be kind of cool too.
There you go.
Yeah, let's
bring him on.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? This is how we get our guests. We just keep hounding the shit out of the people that we've had on the show.
Yeah, right.
Say, So I got to ask you, this is another one you knew it was coming. Biggest blooper or blunder since you've been on the road, shit, I can't believe that just happened moment. Nothing like leaving a live microphone on the ground in front of the drum kit and causing a show-long feedback.
Oof.
Yeah, that was Kevin's, right? Kevin Dean had the
was Kevin's
extra tom that he didn't want, so they took the tom off but forgot to shut off the mic that was on the ground.
He listens to the show.
I know.
We love this.
No, Kevin's probably told him that story.
No. I know that Jeff watches the show and listens and everything. So,
and I think
we want to thank you,
by the way. Thank you
for
your support.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Plus, you keep having drummers on. It's so cool. And,
we got to switch it up every now and then.
We do. We have other good drummers coming. I can't tell you who.
I know.
Yes.
I think the most recent blooper I had was when I looked down at my set list. I had accidentally skipped a song, so I started on the wrong song. And it starts with everybody comes in together.
Huh.
So I counted in, and everybody's kind of like giving me a look like that's not the right tempo, and then I start playing a completely different song than they're playing.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Well, but you caught it.
Right.
You didn't go 3 songs.
No.
You didn't go 3 songs into the second set list that you put in front of the first set list by mistake.
Yep.
So when we had a bass player that played 3 songs in to the second set when we were still playing the first set. He literally played 3 wrong songs, and that's a bass player.
He probably thought he only had the first song wrong. He's like, "Oh, I'll get it. The second song will be fine, right?"
No.
Yeah.
It's like putting square wheels on a race car.
Yeah.
He was going nowhere. We were all spinning out of control.
Yep.
Like going, why does this sound so bad? And he's like,
weird.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, we're on Cat Dragged In. I'm like, that's the second set, knucklehead.
So the second set.
And it probably didn't come out as nice as that.
No.
What?
Aw. Live and learn.
No,
it's
Mike
rock
got
and
a
roll.
little vocal.
I did pop into singer mode.
You did.
Every now and then. Usually it was against the drummer, not anybody else. Usually it was against
That's what singer mode is. It's always against the drummer.
Yes. And if you're going to go play 52 songs that have the caliber of every 80s hair band, big slamming drum piece, would you bring 2A drumsticks with you? Or would you bring tree trunks?
Tree trunks.
Yeah,
of course.
Boy.
Well, we had
with the red nylon tips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had the drummers that brought. We had a drummer that brought the 2A doing traditional grip, jazzy, and I'm like, you need to grab these match grip tree trunks and start slamming the shit out of the floor tom and the snare. And when we have a crescendo moment, I want to feel it from behind. That came out wrong.
It did.
Yeah.
But it was just like, and I think I did turn around at the top of my lungs, and I forget where it was. You remember? I think was it Uriah's or was it the fair?
No.
Monterey.
It wasn't even
somewhere.
the fair.
I don't know what. I screamed,
Club 11.
hit the drums, you sissy. I didn't say sissy, but, yeah. He started hitting them.
Yeah.
He was gone the next week, though. Yeah.
I tell you what, that's what makes great drummers is getting yelled at every now and then. And I went through a lot of getting yelled at when I was a kid. So
Damn.
There you go.
All right.
You can take
Yeah.
it. But you could be a drummer and say, I'm out of here then.
Yeah.
Try to finish the set without me.
Right.
Yeah. So thank God no one did that.
Go back and get the sink out of the back room.
Right.
Start pounding on it. Let me know how you feel.
That's right.
That's right.
It'll sound cool, I swear.
So that was your biggest moment as you played the wrong song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Cool.
I'm not usually the one type to, forget my drum rug or forget my sticks or,
Right.
Forget the snare drum.
Yeah. It's okay, because if you remember, Rick Latham showed up at a gig without cymbals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set up his kit
Right.
and then said,
Oops.
oh, hell.
Yeah.
Where are my cymbals?
Where are my cymbals?
So,
Yeah. It
so-
happens. Sometimes there's confusion. Like if I get booked for a gig, I'll have the opposite problem. I'll bring my entire drum set, and then I get there and I find out that there's an entire drum set provided for me.
Oh.
Now that's funny.
Damn.
Right.
That is funny. There you go.
Oh, well.
Okay. So, give us what's coming up next so we can plug it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's not really too much happening right now in the central New York area,
That's
except
okay.
for Shifty's open mic on Wednesdays for September and October. But my next gig will be with the Probables, supporting Dawn of the Buffalo in
Oh, wow.
Jamestown, New York at the Spire Theater on November 4th.
Very
So
cool.
anybody that wants to come out for a
November 4th.
great performance from two awesome bands, it'll be
The
out by
Probables
Jamestown.
with Donna the Buffalo.
Do you
That's
know?
right.
I don't know who Don of the Buffalo is. I'm
Here we
sorry.
go.
Dawn of the Buffalo is one of the best bands in upstate New York, in my opinion. They're based out of Ithaca, Trumansburg.
Yep.
And what they do is a form of Zydeco. And it's just really infectious music. And I've seen these guys probably 40 times in my life.
Oh,
And,
wow.
they have another little side project that they call Buffalo Zydeco, where they don't necessarily play Dawn of the Buffalo songs, but they play Zydeco traditional songs from 1 o'clock in the morning until sunrise in the dance tent at Great Blue Heron Festival. And, to give you an idea of
That's an
how
awful long time.
to give you an idea of how disciplined and how tight this band is, they'll play the same Zydeco beat for 6 hours, 7 hours without a stop.
Wow. And for those of
It's
you,
so fun.
So, do you have to pee? Too bad. Keep playing.
there's got to be a P song.
Yeah.
There's got to be a song where the drummer just gets up and goes. And
Any
comes
of
back.
them. I don't care if
Well,
it's
that's
a
how
drummer.
I first got into the Probables, where they were doing the same dance tent set from 1 to 6 in the morning, and I talked to the drummer. I was like, "Hey, I'll give you 2 songs if you gotta go pee."
Right.
So they did.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's even better.
That is cool.
It worked out. Now I'm in the band.
There you go.
Playing the washboard.
But
Playing the washboard.
the
Yeah.
Probables are the band to watch out for. When I was with the Town Pants, we had a lot of shows going on. We played quite a bit in upstate New York and some gigs here in Syracuse, like Syracuse Irish Festival. But the Probables are just now starting to get some foothold in some areas in Syracuse. So hopefully in the next couple of months, maybe perhaps sometime next year, we're going to have some Syracuse or Central New York shows. Now that they've got me in the band, I'm located out here. They want to be sure to touch base out here as well.
Cool.
If the Pants needs a bagpipe player, Jeff can hook you up. Jeff's wife actually does the sword dance, the Irish sword dance.
That's a Scottish.
Scottish sword
Yeah.
dance. Whatever.
Highland.
Same thing. Irish, Scottish.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I spent a lot of time looking into that stuff as when I was in the Celtic band. I learned an awful lot about Irish history, Scottish history,
Yep.
and just the idea of Celtic music and how traditional some of these songs are. If you walk into if I play a Celtic festival and all the bands are staying in the hotel together, and then there's the big room the conference room where the bands are jamming, and you walk in and it's not like, most jam sessions where people are pretty loose and there's not really, any rules or anything. But if you walk into a Celtic traditional Irish session, it's like going to a church. You sit there and you listen,
Right.
You don't talk. You
No.
listen.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been part of that whole, even the drummer that plays with your wife's group there.
Yeah.
Just really tight. Tight head, real crisp snare sounds that are just
Yeah.
You're
And I love the traditional Celtic drum is the bowron, the one that they play with
Yeah.
the mallet.
The mallet.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and it's about
that's a great drum.
it's about I don't know, yay big around,
mm-hmm.
and they just sit there and the movement is just crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I tried it for a little bit. It takes a little bit to get used to.
Yep.
It's definitely a discipline trying to play that thing. It's fun, though.
I can tell.
Next time you're on the show, we want you to play one.
No.
Come on, don't be a sissy.
No way.
I'll play it, but you get what you ask for.
That's right. Right.
I do have one, but I don't have a drum head. It's busted on it. So.
Oh, that was a good excuse.
That's
good. That's good. All right. Well, next time it'll be either that or he'll just do like a 5-minute djembe solo.
Oh,
there you go.
You get the kitchen sink.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice.
You bring the kitchen sink. Yeah. Jeff and I've got a garage door opener I can bang on, and
oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and Jeff has three bed springs and a fork.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got this.
Oh, I want one of your bed springs.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, they're rusty.
Yeah. Well, if you read the novel I.P. Knightley, you'll understand.
That's right.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. All right. With that, we got to
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeff.
Yeah, I think just one thing I want to say to everybody is check out my website, which is jefftripolidrums.com.
There you
awesome.
go.
Tons of stuff up there.
Yeah, we'll put that up for you.
We will put it out for you. And anything you've got anytime you've got anything to plug,
let us know.
Just let me know. You've got my information.
Yep.
It's been fun. We want to have you on again. Give us
cool. I'd love to.
Give us a couple months here, and we'll come back around in the spring or before that. I think you've still got some more stories to tell us. We want to hear all about Hawaii. Yeah.
I've got plenty.
I'll bet you do.
Awesome. Awesome.
Cool.
So thank you so much.
Get my good band and ugly T-shirt.
I think he's earned it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's part of the alumni now.
He is. We'll have to bring it to you. Or if you happen to be out at a show that we're going to be at, I don't know. I'm dead serious about bringing your daughter to that FEMS thing. I think it's
this Friday.
Yeah.
I'll talk. I know she's got a softball game on Saturday, but you said Friday?
Friday. Yep.
All right. I might have a gig, but I'll have to see what's going on.
All right. Irv Lyons is opening up.
Yeah, Irv Lyons is opening.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I haven't seen Irv in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be opening, and then they have a meet and greet and everything beforehand. But I think she'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I think anybody that takes violin or has any inspiration of being able to play some more modern music, they'd get a kick out of doing it. Fiddles, the fiddle and the violin are not just country and classical. And I think
they are two different instruments.
Nina has proven that with with that 7-string.
She has a 7-string.
7-string fretted.
Fretted.
7-string fretted.
7-string fretted with a low with a C.
I believe she said it was a C. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the lowest string is a C. Yeah. So she can really get down into the real guttural kind of solo stuff on guitar could do.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And she's banging out some Pink Floyd and some Rush.
Actually, if you get a chance, check out the Rush video.
Oh, yeah,
I did.
You did.
I did check that out. Yeah.
God.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Very unbelievable.
And her husband.
Oh man.
What a singer. Holy shit.
Who knew?
Yeah. And a good drummer.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he was laying down some Neil Peart.
Yes.
Not Pert.
Yeah. Brings me back to my days with Neil Peart. Neil Peart.
Yeah, I called him Pert for like the first half of my whole life, and then
everybody did.
And then I'm watching an interview, and it's like, today we have Neil Peart, and I'm like, why is he pronouncing it Peart?
I do remember somebody in an interview asking him, how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Pert or Peart? And he just came right out with it, and I'm like,
Peart.
Okay.
Yeah, from that point on,
right.
Neil Peart.
Yeah.
You almost sound like you're being a goofball.
I know.
Neil Peart.
Neil Peart.
Yes. My name is.
I'm a snobby drummer.
Yes, my name.
I'm the snobby drummer.
It's pronounced Dirte. It's not dirt. It's Dirte. It's French.
Snobby drummer. Jeff Tripoli.
I'll be right back. I'm going to Target.
Target. Yes, and we're going with Jeff Tripoli. Tripoli is coming with us.
Yes. Snobby drummer Jeff Tripoli.
Snobby drummer Jeff Tripoli. That's it. That's it. We're going to announce the show.
Yep.
Jeff Tripoli, not to be confused with Jeff Roadside Assistance. Yeah. Jeff Tripoli. See what I did there?
Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks, brother. We
Guys,
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. This is fun.
Anytime you want to be on, just bug me, and I'll ignore you for the first seven times.
Sounds good. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. I love it.
Thank you.
Man.
And if you know anybody should be on the show, you let us know, and we'll get them on.
I will.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
I will definitely do that. Thanks, guys.
Very good.
Thanks,
you,
brother.
Talk to you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. There you go, Jeff. Another show in the books.
Yep.
With Jeff Tripoli. He's still on listening, so that's all right.
That's okay.
See, we know you're still there.
Can you hear me?
I still can. It's like the voice of God.
Yeah.
Jeff Tripoli is here.
There you go. That was Jibu. Jibu was making that noise.
Jibu.
All right. That's it.
We are out of
here. That's our show. We thank you for sticking around. We do appreciate all of you.
Yep.
I think we've mentioned our sponsors. They're going to be rolling in the credits.
Yeah.
Do we have to say them again?
No.
All right.
They're going to roll in the credits anyway. It's all good. Start the music. Don't forget, Friday,
Femmes of Rock at Sharky's.
Also, October 6th.
Ben Morrow.
At Sharky's. Open mic night at Shifty's on Wednesdays.
With
Jeff Tripoli.
He's still listening.
He's still listening. Thanks again for sticking around, everybody. You've listened to The Good,
The Band,
The Ugly. I'm Big Papa.
I'm Jeff.
Just Jeff. We'll see you next week. We're going to have another couple great shows for you.
Yeah.
Stick around, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Like we timed it that way.
No, roll the credits.
Recording stopped.
See?